Good morning, you brilliant minds. Okay, today I wanted to talk about forgiveness and why it is absolutely crucial to forgive if you want to be successful. This applies to anything. If you want to be successful in your business, if you want to be successful with your finances, if you want to be successful in your marriage, in your relationships, in your self-love, with your health, with a weight loss journey, with a weight gain journey, forgiveness is absolutely crucial. I'm going to tell you why. If you're new here, my name is Edna Estrada and I am a rapid transformational hypnotherapist. So welcome. I have hypnotherapy sessions almost every single day, and inevitably, over 99% of the time, anytime someone comes in saying they want to lose weight, they want to get along better with their partner, they want to make more money, they want to grow their business, when we go down to the root cause of why they're not getting the results that they want, it always comes back to something that their parents said to them, something that their teacher, their siblings, a moment in time that happened that maybe was painful. And so subconscious grabbed on to that moment, and that moment got frozen in time, and that became kind of like the baseline for their survival. So let's back it up a little bit. When you want to be successful at anything, it's not that difficult, right? What is required is complete and utter faith that thing is already yours, and action, inspired action, right? When it comes down to it, you make a decision about what you want, you take action. Can you hear my dog eating? I don't let him go outside because it's cold. But anyway, you take action, you decide what you want, and you go for it, and you do it with the energy that you believe. And that energy is a creative energy. It's a joyful energy. It's an energetic, energy where you're like motivated and inspired. And sometimes, not always, there's times where you're like, oh, I'm tired, I had a long day, I don't really feel like doing this. But the deeper feeling inside of your gut is excitement, because there is something bigger than you that you want to get done, and you're excited to see the results and the fruit of that labor. So that's success, right? When you're doing the thing and you're seeing results, and you feel that pride and that joy that comes with seeing those results. Now, the opposite of that is you're stuck. You're overthinking, you don't trust yourself, you're not taking any action, or you're taking, quote unquote, the wrong action, like you're taking pretend action, where you're doing things to make it seem like you're trying, but you're really not. And that's why you're getting the results that you want. So when we start a hypnotherapy session, I will take someone into hypnosis. I will put them under, I will bypass their conscious mind, and then we'll start asking subconscious, what is the reason for this weight gain, this inability to lose weight, this inability to make money, to be successful. And I have them go back to 3 moments in time where their subconscious decided, okay, this has happened enough times with enough impact that we are going to make this the reality. You can never, ever, ever be successful. You can never, ever, ever lose weight because, and then subconscious tells us the reasons. And again, over 99% of the time, one of those reasons is always, my mom told me that I wasn't good enough, that I was a good for nothing. And so I don't believe I can go after my dreams. I don't believe I'm allowed to dream big enough. I don't believe that my voice matters. I don't believe that I am heard or seen. And when it comes down to it, What is forgiveness? Forgiveness doesn't mean you tell someone, hey, that's okay, that's okay. No worries, like, I'm okay. That's not what forgiveness is. I know a lot of people think, and sometimes it is, if you're thinking of a child in a schoolyard, or when you bump into someone and you say, oh, I'm sorry, yeah, it's fine, So I think we use that apology, that sorry, so often that our mind kind of mixes it up. But when it comes to forgiving in a deeper healing sense, all it means is you let go. You genuinely let go with your heart and with your soul, and you say, that is not my problem. I can see now that all the things that I was holding on to were things that were like your problem. You were an a-hole, you were mean, you were terrible to me because of who you are, because you weren't able to forgive your past, because you were in pain and you had to hurt me. You didn't know any better, and I didn't know any better, and I took that, and I basically, the way I like to think of it is when someone is horrible to you, when someone mistreats you, it's almost like they're throwing a brick at you. And if you've been living with that person, if you're around that person for a long time, it's like they keep throwing the brick, throwing a brick, throwing a brick, throwing a brick, throwing a brick. And you keep catching the brick, catching the brick, catching the brick. And then you stack up the bricks in front of you and you create a prison for yourself. You create a prison made out of those bricks. So if they're telling you, you're stupid, you're fat, you're good for nothing, you're lazy, you're whatever, that's all you build a prison out of those bricks, and you're looking at that prison every day and you're like, okay, I'm lazy, I'm good for nothing, I'm no good, I'm whatever, I'm this, I'm that. But do you see how you accepted the bricks? They're your bricks. They're your bricks now. You caught them, so they're yours, and you made a foundation with them subconsciously. And that prison is in your mind. And your mind belongs to you, right? Your mind belongs to you. So when you don't know any better, when you're young, when you haven't done any healing work, I mean, you just don't know any better. So you're like, okay, I don't know what to do with the bricks, so I guess I'll just lay them here. And before you know it, there's a prison. But I'm telling you right now, just you listening to this, you know better. Those bricks, they don't have to be there. If you don't like the bricks, you get rid of the bricks. You bring them down, you bring them down, you bring them down. You don't have to have a prison at all. You don't have to have any walls at all. You, who you are an expression of God. Literally, this skin, this is your meat suit. This is not who you are. This is your vehicle that was assigned to you. And you get to take care of it, and you get to take it wherever you want, and you get to express yourself with it, and touch things, and taste things, and smell things, and hear things, and see things, and it's just a suit. But who you truly are is an expression of God, right? So if you think of God, or like if you think of us, we have like all our fingers, but everything is a part of us. Every tooth, every eyelash, every hair, every part of us, every organ, everything is a part of us, right? Of our meat suit. Every spirit is an extension of God. And when you really understand that, you're like, oh wait, so I have that Holy Spirit in me. That's so ridiculous that I would even consider someone's negative thoughts to be true. That I would even consider that someone could call me dumb or fat or ugly or whatever. And that I would believe, can you imagine someone calling God that, any of those things? Or can you imagine someone saying God saying I'm stuck or I'm not feeling creative? That's ridiculous. It's so ridiculous. And that is truly your power. You are meant to be creative. You are meant to be joyful. You are meant to be expressive. You don't need any bricks stopping you from anything. Sometimes it's really hard to remove the bricks. Sometimes you can do a journaling session. You can do a meditation, you can do shadow work, and it works. And it works. But I'll tell you from experience, I did those things a lot. And I would cry every time. I would release. But I was still not seeing the results that I wanted to see in my life. And I couldn't figure out why. And what I found was that my conscious mind would only let me go so far, because some things my subconscious had decided they were too painful, and it just wouldn't really let me let out. It wouldn't really let me let out my anger. I had a programming in me that I think it was partly a programming my parents had given me, and other people that they used to say, oh, Edna, you're so kind, you're so nice, you're so understanding. And I accepted that programming, and I allowed that to mean that I couldn't get angry. And I couldn't even see that. Like I would get mad. I would get mad at my husband. I would get mad at my kids. So it just seemed ridiculous. It wasn't even something that was in my conscious, like aura that I would think I can't get mad. But when I had an RTT session of my own, a hypnotherapy session, I realized I had a lot of anger. I had a lot of pent up anger for a lot of the circumstances, and they were just kind of lingering there, and they wouldn't let me move forward, because deep down what I was feeling was, if I try to make new friends again, if I try to connect with people, if I start a business where I have to connect with other people, I'm just going to let everyone down, and everyone's going to let me down, and they're going to hurt me. These are not things I was thinking consciously. Consciously, I was like, why isn't it working? What's wrong with me? What, like, seriously, like, is it because I'm fat? Is it because I'm brown? Is it because I'm short? Is it because I'm old? Is it because I'm too young? Like, what is it? And I was looking for external things to blame. And it was none of those things. Everything was a limit that I had unknowingly decided to put on myself subconsciously. When I was able to change that, and this is what happens to every RTT hypnotherapy client, is that, so the way I see it is that, this is your conscious mind. So this is your thinking mind. This is what makes you dream. It's what makes you see things clearly for what they are, your logical mind, right? And then your subconscious is kind of like a bridge. So this is where a lot of the unknown is, right? It's like, okay, if I believe subconsciously that I am a millionaire, then I will be. If I believe subconsciously that I am happy and loved and excited, then you will see that in the reality. And then this is the energetic field. I personally think the energetic field is the most important, but nonetheless, you still have to go through the bridge. You still have to program your subconscious mind. You still have to find out, like, you have to open these doors, right? So this is the bridge from for you to get the intuition here into your thinking mind so you can take action. You still need to clear this path. And this is the part that a lot of people skip. A lot of people want to be like spiritual and like do all the rituals and stuff, which are great. They're great, but then they wonder why they're not getting results. And they read all the books and listen to all the podcasts and think about things and try to be logical, and it still doesn't work. Well, that's because this part wasn't clear. You didn't clear the part where your mom told you that you were an idiot. You didn't clear that. That's like mess. It's like, it's the brick. You have to move it. You have to throw that thing out. You didn't clear the part where you were bullied in middle school. That's what happened to me. You didn't let it go. You decided to keep the brick right there so you couldn't clear that energy, because you were holding on to it because you thought it served you for your survival, for your safety. But that served you then when you were getting bullied back then, when your mom was being mean to you, or your dad or your uncle or your aunt or your sister or your brother or whatever. When you were in that moment, your logical mind said, well, you better shut up to survive this. Like, you don't want to get beat up. Your parents give you food and water for survival and love. You can't make them upset. You need to shut up. But now that you're an adult, that you need to speak up for yourself, that you need to believe who you truly are, which is, again, an extension of God. And you have the rights that everyone has, that Oprah, Beyonce, Tony Robbins, whoever, Sarah Blakely, like, you have the same rights as everyone to create, to be joyful. But if you're stuck with those thoughts, with those subconscious beliefs of, no, I can't do things because, someone instilled a belief in me, that's you not forgiving. That's you not letting go. And it doesn't just make you afraid, it also makes you a coward. I'm not saying that with judgment. I'm saying that objectively. Because what is a coward, right? A person that is afraid to make decisions because something is going to happen. When you live in that fear, you have to choose one. You're either living in fear or you're living in love and in courage. Love or hate, right? Creativity or stuckness. You have to decide which one do you want to put your focus on. And then you have to do the work to get there. You have to decide who you are. Who are you when you're making decisions for the woman that you want to be? The girl that wants to travel all over the world. The girl that wants to be respected and loved and treated like a princess, that wants a love story. The girl whose house is always clean and there's always light shining and it smells good. The girl who finishes school. Like, who are you when you're thriving? What thoughts are going to through your mind? I'll tell you, a lot of people try to trick the system. They will try to say, okay, I got it. I'm gonna be the happiest person on earth. I'm gonna believe in myself. I am happy. I am abundant. I am loved. I'm gonna claim it. But it's all up here. It's not truly in their mind. The mind is not in the brain. I think a lot of people think the mind is in the brain. It is not. It is a part of your body. It is a part of your spirit. It is a part of your being. It is that connector. The brain just projects, right? It just has you do whatever the mind is going to do. So if your mind thinks that you're fat and unhealthy, your brain will say, oh, here, let me release the chemicals that are going to make you crave chili cheese fries or a hamburger or chips or sweets, a cake, whatever. It does like the technical part. That's the brain. The mind is the computer. It's the programming. So all that to say that when you don't forgive, when you don't let go, that means that you are holding on to, and that means you're in the moment in the past. That means that you are not being true to who you want to be, who are you working to be, who you aspire to be. And you can't be committed to both people. You can't be committed to your past self, because then you're going to keep getting the same results that you don't like. And you cannot be committed to your future self, the happy, hot, sexy, healthy, beautiful, loved, adventurous, romantic part of you. It's like those girls are making different decisions. Those girls are having different thoughts. Those girls have different boundaries. Those girls are taking different actions. Their days look differently. You have to decide which one you are. So if you feel that you can, you have your own ways of forgiving, and that you think that you can genuinely do it, go do them. Right? Like, don't wait. Again, remember, two girls making two different decisions. One is not waiting. One is saying, okay, I have a problem. I need to fix it. I'm going to go take action. I'm going to book something like right now. And the other one's saying like, okay, yeah, I'm going to keep that in mind. I'm gonna do it. Ah, that's so interesting. Okay, so whatever you have to do to forgive. And I want to remind you that I am a rapid transformational hypnotherapist, and that is what I do. I help women go into their subconscious, clear the things that they don't even know are there so that they can reach their goals. I help the high performers, the women who have already decided, I am going to do this. No one's going to stop me. And if there's some dirty trash that needs to be taken out, then I'm going to take the trash out and I'm going to move forward. Don't do any of this work if you have not decided to go all in. Because I'll tell you who this doesn't work for. This doesn't work for the women who are looking for a reason for it not to work. The women who fight super hard for their limitations, who look for mentors and coaches and doctors and witches and warlocks and other things, and they're saying, okay, change me, save me, like, you know, Barbie meme. It doesn't work. No one can save us. Like, no one. You can't save anyone. You know, that's why it doesn't work when you want to change your husband or your kid or your sister or your alcoholic father. It doesn't work. Everyone has to make decisions for themselves. Everyone. You can guide people, you can support people. And I've actually heard Tony Robbins say this. You know, he said, I'm a big guy, but I can't carry anyone. And he motivates millions of people, right? Every year, if not every day. You cannot carry anyone, and no one can carry you. No one is going to change you. These are all tools that work. There's scientific proof. Hypnosis works more than traditional therapy because it goes straight to the root of the problem. And your mind learns by repetition. That's where the hypnosis comes in. The hypnotherapy is to heal. The hypnosis is to move forward. With every package, I also include a 30-day coaching package where I help you embody your changes and get comfortable, because it's uncomfortable when you grieve the person that you were. There's a little bit of sadness, a little bit of fear, a little bit of excitement. And sometimes you just need someone right there to tell you, keep going. You got this, to hold you accountable. That's super helpful. If you go in deciding that it's going to work and you just need the tool to help you get there, right? Then it's going to work. So like another way I like to describe it is, imagine that there's like a ruler, right? And the ruler is a tool. So you have the ruler and you're trying to draw a straight line. But if you're trying to challenge the ruler and you're like, bloop, oh, it didn't work. I was using a ruler, but it didn't work. Because you were trying to challenge it and you were purposely moving away from it. That's why it didn't work. But if you follow the guidance, if you go in taking it seriously, believing it's going to work. This is a great book, girl. I'm gonna give it a shout out. I love Frederick Eklund from $1 Million Listing New York, and I found out he had a book, so I'm reading it now and it's amazing. When you decide that you're gonna take your tools seriously, when you buy things, when you exchange money for things, when you exchange time for things with the intention to use them, to respect them, they bring you joy. They work. But when you buy things to just try to fulfill you, it might work for a little while. It might work for a second or two, but it doesn't last very long. Okay. That is my spiel on forgiveness. If you're interested in one of the RTT hypnotherapy packages, the link is in my bio under shop. There's a lot of workbooks there that come with hypnosis. If you're looking for a lower price point, There's a midpoint of a DIY healing coat, which is actually going to be changing soon. It's going to be the same program. I'm just going to, what is the word? I'm going to change the name, rebrand it. I'm going to rebrand it. And then there are the packages to work one-on-one with me. There is a 1 month package, and there is the Freedom Trifecta, which is a 3-month package where you can work on 3 different issues. So if you're like, I need to up-level my life, like I feel it, I'm getting older, and I want to command my mind to make me healthy, to make me strong. I want to command my mind to put me in the most amazing relationship, loving relationship with my spouse, with myself. If I want to command my mind to make a lot of money because I'm getting closer to a retirement and I need to like get this under control, the Freedom Trifecta is for you. If there's like one thing where you're like, you know what, this year, I really want to be healthy. Like I keep saying to myself, I'm going to get healthy. And I don't. I keep stumbling. I keep finding excuses. I keep not believing that I am that person. I keep saying things like I'm unhealthy, I'm fat. I want to change that. I want to change that by summer. Then the single package is for you. Okay? And if you have any questions, please DM me. I'm always happy to answer your questions. I love you so much. I will see you later. Bye-bye.